Let's get more updates on the situation in Cebu. We have San Remigio Mayor Mariano Martinez. Good morning, Mayor. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Good morning. Yeah.
Yes, Mayor. Kamusta na po ang
Yes,
kamusta na po ang sitwasyon diyan sa inyo?
Well, actually, our retrieval operations are already stopped. We're not getting any new requests for retrieval. So right now, we're already at our phase 2 relief operations already. The phase 2 relief, it's ongoing. My initial problem right now is on logistics. Usual problem, logistics, bringing the needed relief to the people that really need the help. So that's a problem. Water, still no water. Right now they just reconnected the water, so the electricity is the last of the electric companies to be able to the water sources to be able to reconnect the water sources. The problem is the water that's coming out is still very muddy and murky. Yeah.
Mayor, I understand there's a request from different airlines right now to, carry or airlift yung mga needed relief po sa inyong lugar. Meron na po bang nagsagawa nun?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're still waiting for that.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the rescue teams na sinasabi po na ipapadala po sa inyo na manggagaling po dito sa Manila, sa Pasig,
Davao,
na maaring tumulong sa inyo?
Yeah, we've got a lot of rescue teams already that arrived, and actually, we've already, as I mentioned again, we've already moved to phase 2. Retrieval is already finished. We're moving already to relief operations there. Bringing relief goods to people. The problem here is that most of these people are living outside their homes. They're not willing to go back to their homes because some of their houses are either partially damaged or some are totally damaged. The ones that are partially damaged, they're still scared to go in because there's still tremors until now.
Right.
So people are scared to go in. So they're staying out. They're staying out in their houses outside. And so, but to me, it's okay now because as long as they can live with their neighbors, with their relatives, okay lang. The problem lang is water and electricity. Very difficult to move.
Right.
You don't have water and electricity. Yeah, that's it.
Mayor, do we have estimated the reported damages na po brought about by this quake?
Actual yet, that's the thing. I don't have the exact figures yet. But, I'll be able to get that maybe later this afternoon.
What about po the communication lines, the power lines, yung tubig po, kamusta po dyan?
Right. Right now, the power lines actually, it's not like before in Baguio, typhoons, where the power lines are down. Here, the power lines are still there. The other problem is the supply of electricity. We used to get it from Mayte, underground cable. Now that's not available. So we're getting it from a different source. I don't know where our electric cooperative is getting it from, but they told me they restructured it and they've been able to bring it in. The problem now is our establishment and even our government buildings are not yet ready to tap because we're not yet sure whether the electrical lines, the gas lines, structurally, they're safe to occupy the building.
Yeah. Yung mga hospitals po dyan, affected po sila, of course, ano?
Yes, but it's actually our closest hospital, is Regional Hospital here in Bukor City. And that's where we're sending all our patients. We're treating, initially the problem there was the patients, they get treated with us, just minor wounds, we sutures, we can do that. But more than that, fractures and all that, we send them to the hospital. The hospital was overwhelmed in the first few days. So we needed this ambulance to be able to bring them to the city. And so at the city, no problem, man. So now you'll notice that if you go from city to the north, every few minutes, every week, you'll see ambulances going back and forth.
Well, I understand there's a lot to be done. Hindi na nga po natin magkamayan kung ano po yung uunahin natin dito. But of course, our concern here is saan po natin, ano po yung plano ng government po natin ngayon doon sa mga displaced families na wala na pong mauuwian ngayon dahil sa lindol?
Yes, I think that will be our next problem. All those families that have houses totally damaged, right now, we don't really have LGUs that have the resources to help them because there are just too many. So we'll be seeing where we can get help from.
All right.
So right now, we're here. We're meeting with the municipalities that is affected by the typhoon and by the earthquake, and hopefully, the president hopefully be able to answer some of these questions.
Lastly, Mayor, aside from water, the basic necessities that you guys need there, meron pa po ba kayong panawagan na kailangan po ngayon ng inyong lugar?
Well, actually, initially, tents. I still need tents. I still need, in my evacuation centers, since we're not using any buildings, we're open fields naman naman. What we're using is just open areas. We're putting tents. I need portalets just to borrow. Yeah, because that's what we lack. We have no water. We facilitate tents to be under their rains and ready to eat food packs. Okay.
Would you know din po ba, Mayor, kung nakapag-assess na po sa mga buildings po ngayon?
Not yet. That's the thing there. I'm waiting for my municipal engineer, and I've asked already help from the Constructors Association of Cebu, whether they can also help us with structural engineers, and if they can help send here to our municipality. Okay, the sooner we can get to assess our buildings, then the sooner we'll be able to get back our businesses and function normally. Without that, it's all a standstill. Very difficult.
Okay.
People cannot go back to work.
Oo nga eh. So hanggang ngayon po, suspended po yung mga klase. Tsaka walang makapagtrabaho. Alright.
Classes and work also.
Yes, that's right. Alright, Mayor, our thoughts and prayers are with you there sa Cebu. Of course, we will continue to get in touch with you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. San Remigio Mayor Mariano Martinez.
Thank you.
Talagang
nagmamadali si Mayor dahil meron din daw siyang meeting with the President. Kasi parating ngayon doon, nandoon na siguro ang ating Presidente.
Oo. What this teaches us kasi, no matter the amount of preparation, pag tinamaan ka ng ganito, iba ang on the ground response. Case in point, saludo tayo sa frontliners and what they're doing and trying to accomplish. But you could see medyo magulo pa yung paglabas ng numero. Kasi each agency may kanya-kanyang iba-ibang numero, 'di ba? Mas maganda sana parang yung sistema ng Bagyo, you have the number of deaths, the number of injured, and still missing and unaccounted for. So at least we know what to expect, diba? At saka yung mga loved ones na they know where to go, where to give the info. Kasi medyo...
ang tawag doon yung meeting point, diba, kapag something like this happened. Kasi dito sa Manila, when there were meeting about yung sa the big one, diba, sabi nila, meron tayong parang pinaka-headquarters na pwedeng puntahan, which is in Viluna, if I'm not mistaken.
Viluna is for Quezon City.
For Quezon City.
But what I'm saying also, aside from yung meeting point, this is very important kasi pag nag-big earthquake, magbibiyak yung mga location, sino ba lalapitan ko for numbers, diba? Kasi you have the Provincial Disaster Risk Office, you also have the mga OCD na mga kanya-kanyang LGU, di ba? You have yung mga
information office.
So like if you try nyo nga, i-google, di ba? Casualties ng earthquake, you'll have different news agencies, different numbers, di ba? So mas maganda centralized para medyong in such a way na the numbers are easy to access.
Tsaka itong nangyari ngayon sa Cebu also would remind us as well no, dito yung tungkol sa the big one, no. Talaga dito sa atin sa Philippines, dapat pag-igihan natin yung disaster preparedness natin. When it comes, of course, yung building code, stricter building codes natin. Yung ibang ngayon nakikita natin doon sa Cebu yung mga structures na mga talagang nasira. Sino ba yung mga contractors doon? Kasi baka mamaya hindi nga sumusunod sa mga building codes. Sa Japan, they have a very ang tawag doon? Strict
building code.
Tsaka yung mga disaster preparedness nila, 'di ba? Aside from building codes, yung kanilang early warning systems, 'di ba? Pagdating sa earthquake, and of course yung everyday na pagpapaalala doon sa mga residents nila doon, sa countrymen nila regarding this through mga regular earthquake drills, etc.
Yeah. Tsaka one last thing, what this teaches you is this may expose yet another form of corruption with regards sa mga building codes, diba? Kasi ang daming building na pumapasa sa inspections, ang daming permits na nagagrant na for construction na
substandard.
Kasi if you have permits and you have inspections, pwedeng sabihin nilang isara nyo yan kasi it's not up to standard or hindi kayo pwede mag-construct dyan. Exactly. Pero ang daming nako-construct, ang daming na-approve. This will expose. Teka lang, itong mga building na nakita natin na sira, pumasa ba? Diba? So,
saka yung
let's see moving
paalala
forward.
Din ng Historical Commission, National Historical Commission, yun sa mga heritage churches sa mga nasira. Kapag may mga nakita daw silang mga parte-parte doon, wag nakawin, itabi, ibigay para pagka nagkaroon ng reconstruction, maisama pa rin yun.
More of the original pieces.
Kanina, concern ko din doon sa ating mga kababayan, mga nasa labas na natutulog, yung parang nagka-camp na sila because natatakot sila pumasok. Ay baka mag-ulan-ulan, no?